Yes. Sorry. You're not quick enough. Bob mentioned, you know, we had worked in CCAC. It was several years ago. I haven't been active recently, but I worked back then. One of the big issues back then was an issue of principals or schools that had violated IEPs, and principals refused to do anything. And it wasn't determined by CCAC. It was determined up at the state level. And many years, I went there before the board to try to do something, you know, to get principals more responsive to IEPs, special education, because the parents, you know, would protest, were told, go to the special ed department. Special ed department say, well, we're not in the chain of command, we can't do anything. I mean, can anything be done? Should anything be done, or just keep the status quo? What should be done?
Absolutely, should be done. It's my turn, right?
Yes.
I met with Patty on Friday, and she is just so enthusiastic. She brought Paula Kluth to Howard County last week, and Ms. Kluth spoke to the principals and key central office administrators on Tuesday, and then to the assistant principals on Thursday. And the message is to presume competency. And Patty showed me her whole year's agenda of staff development for principals and for teachers in the classroom. And she will be involving CCAC and parents of children with disabilities, I believe sometime in February.
January.
Sorry, got the wrong month. But this is an exciting new vision with new leadership. Mr. Walsh brought it along a great deal. Now Ms. Daly's going to carry it much further, and I'm totally in support of her efforts.
One minute.
Everybody gets
I'm also yeah, you're right. Something needs to change. And from what I'm hearing from so many parents, an inconsistency among what's going on in all the different schools in Howard County, some good, some bad. The message has not gotten through to the principals. There is a consistent application of special education in Howard County. And the presumption of competence goes along the presumption that we say yes before we say no to special education care.
I think just briefly this touches on an issue that not only affects special ed parents with children with special ed needs, but all parents. I think that we need to elevate and improve the level of communication between the school system and the community, as well as between the schools. There are very few professional development days, very few opportunities for that cross-pollination to happen. I think there needs to be greater collaboration in ways and improving that communication through technology, providing parents greater access to information, so there's more transparency, as well as more collaboration between staff.
Principals do need to be more responsive. Part of the documentation in the IEP team process is an acknowledgement form that displays that all educators are aware of the contents of the IEP. They understand it and they will carry it out. With the team process, I'm sure, as you know, that team decision-making, the parent has equal rights, just as any other member of the team. As part of your parental rights under state law, teams are responsible for making decisions. It's not just the principal, even though they may be the overseer of the instructional program of the school, but as a parent, you have an equal right of that IEP team process and decision-making.
This just makes me crazy. One of the reasons that I'm involved in this again this year is that as my children have gotten older, I'm getting calls from people whose kids are in kindergarten who are battling the same things that I did 10 years ago. They outweight you and exhaust you. And one of the things that I worked on when I ran in 2004 was implementing or getting the ombudsman position, in large part because parents need help navigating the system that is lopsided on the power structure. We need more of that. 15 seconds is not enough. Next time.
Yeah, I think your question is related to should we change or stay with the status quo. Clearly, we should always be looking to change. we should always be looking to improve. We should always be looking at where we are and looking ahead to do better for all of our families. One of the things that I think is important for us to do at every level is to improve communications. Sometimes communications hurts if we're not sure how somebody's going to receive it, but it's more important to communicate than to not communicate and then leave an angst because people are waiting for us to get back to them. It's very important for us to communicate.
Stan, we've discussed this before, but I mean, it shouldn't happen, and possibly it's a communication issue. There are obviously processes you should be following. I suggest, and I tell this to parents of typical students also, I'm not in the classroom every day. I love to hear if you've got an issue. Much to many of your surprise, we can't just flip a switch and make something happen, but I can make a phone call. And usually when I make a phone call, they know that the board members are aware of it, and things tend to work out. So if you have a problem where your IEP is not being handled, what I'm going to do is I'm going to direct you, if the principal's not being supportive, I'm going to direct you to the administrative assistant over that, administrative director over that principal, and then stay in touch to make sure that things get resolved.
This brings up an idea I had. If I get the opportunity to be elected to the board, I want to do. During the discussion with Patty Daly, we talked about adversary. What I would like to do is I would like to make sure, as we have a resource teacher who comes in and sits at the IEP, many of us see, I want to bring and have the same kind of representative for you as a parent. Sit there and give you the guidance and information you need to make sure that what is being offered and what you are able to receive, you have someone there next with you. We have advocates who fight for us at the IEP. I want the school system to have that representative for you there so that we can take care of some of the issues that may be a disagreement between you and that school. You need a representation at the table, and I want to bring someone there who will do that for you.